We're doing it again. We are doing it again, my fellow parents. We are getting together on a podcast to have fun, to educate, to inspire, just to be together, to be the best parents we can be, to teach and to guide, to stay strong, be close, and to teach wisdom. And today we got a doozy. We're talking about a topic that almost 100% of us struggle with at times. Not 100%, but most of us, Jordan, we struggle with raising our voices, controlling yelling.
Yelling is big, and the fact of the matter is we've all done it. We all do it. We want to be heard, right? If you're not paying attention to me, Sean, I have to raise my voice to get your attention.
You sure do.
It's like, dude, I'm talking to you. Like, hello. Like, it's like a natural,
It is.
like
It's
I'm just
natural.
trying to get your attention.
Just like this is
Right.
natural. Oh, yeah? You want to argue with me? Okay. Get off that screen. Last chance. What are you doing? Get your butt in the shower. I don't know if that came up on
It's
the
like
mic.
whoever can be, it did. Whoever can be louder wins the argument.
That power,
right?
that intensity. Parenting is so amazing. It brings out the best in us. Parenting is so horrible. It brings out the worst in us. So we're going to give you some tools here, toolbox, because parents, we all know controlling, this is not good. Yelling, this is a tool that we use in our toolbox, and there's better tools. There are better tools. If you yell a lot, if you're struggling with a lot of controlling, if your attitude sucks, it's time to do some work on yourself. Let us care for you. Let us support you. You can do this. Put those tools away and use these tools we're about to give you.
All right. So as a parent and maybe as a spouse, right? I mean, obviously raising your voice happens in these situations. We're trying to eliminate that. My question, though, is it ever okay to yell?
Yeah, definitely.
Right? There's times for it. Let's be real. There's times where it's okay to yell. If someone's in trouble, if you need, to get someone's attention because they're in danger. Or I was thinking like coaches, right?
Yeah.
All our coaches yelled back in the day. It's like, get on the line, give me 20, when we're acting out, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, can you imagine like a soft-spoken coach? Like, hey guys, just want to let you know that loss last week was just like really bad. It was just like really, really awful, and you guys suck. But you know what? We're going to get better.
They do.
And you're just
They exist. There's a lot of them.
it's like,
yeah.
I'm sure there's some of them, but I only picture like the
It's true.
big,
Right.
loud
Yeah, that's
coach.
what yeah, that's actually, I wasn't planning on saying this, but one of my favorite things to research I've ever read, Jordan, is so good for all of us. The short version is this, that the Gottman Institute, they discovered that in healthy marriages, okay, not parenting of marriages, they don't, many of the best marriages out there, they don't have good communication. They have yelling.
Oh, no.
They do.
Really?
They have arguments. They have name calling.
that.
They have weirdness.
Right.
And that is opposite of what we've kind of been told our whole lives. The key is communication. Right. No. The cool thing about like good relationships is you don't have to be perfect. You can yell. You can avoid. You can shut down sometimes. You don't have to be a perfect communicator. This is so freeing and so great. It's all these little things that the Gottmans found that, that still like, made the marriage so good in how they handled the yelling, how they thought about the yelling, how they repaired the yelling. So today we're going to do this.
I think what's better than saying that is adaptation. Adaptation is the best thing you can do as a couple, right, to adapt to that situation.
Foundations,
but
keys.
We're going to go through. Definitely keys. We're going to obviously talk a little bit about how we can eliminate that for us,
yes,
right?
We
Try
are.
to eliminate the yelling and the controlling. But I guess let's start it off with you. Why do we yell? Or what is the reason for this purpose?
I think it's helpful to talk about that real quick. Why do we yell? If you are yelling, if you're a command and controller, if you're reminding a lot, snapping, I think it's time for you to take a chill pill, relax in the chair, and listen today. And do some work on yourself and ask yourself, why do I yell? And I'm going to give you all 9 reasons because there's actually a lot more than 9. But really briefly, I think it'd be helpful, Jordan, if we just say 9 reasons why we yell. And then what we're going to do today is Jordan and I are going to give you some strategies to stop the yelling and stop the command and controlling. And I know it's hard to break. You do it because you have a good heart. You're trying to guide, you're trying to lead, trying to get your kids to do what they're supposed to do. So you end up controlling, reminding, yelling. But I don't want to spend too much time on the 9 reasons because it's just, but I do want to spend a little bit of time. Are you ready? All right. So
Yeah, please. What are they?
I'll just go like one by one. If you want me to expand on any of them, just ask. Okay. So you got to realize that human beings, we all have coping mechanisms. You've all heard of fight, flight, freeze, and fawn. And we yell because these are our human, like, coping mechanisms. We feel scared when we feel shocked, when we feel very emotional, that if we don't manage these emotions, they're going to kick in. And yelling, it's a form of fighting. You're fighting to get what you want because you hate feeling discomfort and you're scared.
What's the flight?
So flight would be like avoiding. Okay. Like I don't want to talk about it.
Like you can't move.
Yeah, it's like a stonewalling. Like you're just like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what you want me to say. And then fawn is people pleasing.
Like a deer?
Yeah, like a deer. Like people pleasing, like caving in, like enabling, like giving them extra screens or candy, treats.
Okay.
So reason number one, that's why we yell. And I hope you, as you listen to these other 8 reasons, I hope you feel good. I hope you don't feel like any mom guilt or devil. Like, I'm not alone. There's reasons why you are struggling with yelling and controlling.
Yeah.
Right?
Maybe one stands out more than another. So great. What's the second one?
Well, these aren't not just coping skills, but for many of us, these are our childish coping skills. This is kind of deep. Like you started using these skills and yelling when you were a kid, and you never had an adult who helped you with like emotional regulation, help you to soothe, help you to manage your temper. No adult helped you with that, and now here you are, and you're an adult who's acting like a child because no one ever taught you.
Right.
That's right.
We've never really grown up.
Ooh,
that's a tough one.
That's
because
deep that you
it's
just
like,
said that. You never really grown up. That stings a little.
Never really grown up. There's a lot of children out there as adults running around, complaining, yelling, right? You could argue throwing tantrums, right?
That's deep.
And that's basically you haven't grown up. And if that's you, if that's me, if that's anyone, it sucks to hear that. But the good news is you can learn how to change that.
Number 3 reasons. We want control. It feels good to be in control.
We do.
And
we hate chaos.
We hate chaos. We want things the way we want it. Your way, right away.
Exactly.
And you know what? People get weird when they have control. That's why there's HOAs. Because they're weirdos who want control. Or there's Karens.
Right.
And there's mall cops and weird security guards. God bless all you great mall cops, security guards, and HOAs that are doing a good job.
Dude, were you with me when I got in trouble from the mall cop? Were you there that one time? We were throwing little stink bombs around the mall in San Diego.
Oh my gosh.
And the mall cops found out we were throwing these stink bombs, and people were like, "What is that smell?" We got kicked out by the mall cops.
Thank you for the mall cops, because now as grown men and adults,
thank you, mall cops.
Thank you, mall cops. See, this is it. We want control, and we yell because these are our unhealthy ways of trying to get what we want and what we cannot actually have. If you want control, if you like control, well, then you shouldn't have ever had kids, because as soon as that baby popped out, or you put that baby in somebody else, or adopted them, or fostered them from somebody else, you're giving up control. All right, number 4 reasons is we don't want to hurt. So beyond just think about, beyond getting hurt, someone cussing you out, we just don't like being in pain. And we yell because it's actually like a drug. It makes the pain go away. And it makes us feel
it triggers us.
better.
Imagine getting cut off in line, all right? Someone cuts you off, all right? Or you did it on accident, and then they flip you off. You immediately rage. You just want to yell at them to make you feel better. I get what you're saying, yeah.
This is why, if you have a yelling pattern and you take our advice and you stop yelling, you actually are committed. You're going to be in a lot of pain for a period of time because you're not coping. Just like if you have a drinking problem and you stop drinking, it's going to be painful. You'll be feeling your feelings. I have a friend, and this friend, he's got he's been a big cannabis user for a long, long time, and he just is stopping to use it, and he's been feeling his feelings, and it's very painful.
Oh, is it hard? I bet, especially when you've done something for a long time. So, like, what happens if I'm in a situation, and we don't have to get into this right now, but I'm just thinking, like, some people look at this as, like, standing up for yourself. Like, you're going to let them talk to you like that? You're going to let them disrespect you like that, right?
Yes.
And so, like, yelling could be a form of, like, yeah, you stood up for yourself, or, you're not going to back down. You're not a pushover.
Right. And, well, before, that actually is a great transition to number 5, reason why people yell, but does that sound like you're talking to an adult, or does that actually sound like you're talking to a child right now? Like, stand up for yourself, speak up, yell.
Right.
Doesn't that kind of relate to your childish coping mechanisms?
Sure.
You brought in, like, you don't need to do that anymore. Do you need to yell at a child to stand up for yourself? That is what it feels like, though. Like, I'm not going to let this kid, disrespect me or roll over me or not get to school on time. Right. I have to yell. It's good. That's insightful.
I'm thinking to adult, but it goes back to our point where, like, if you feel like you need to do that, then maybe you haven't grown up to the maturity level that you need to be. So you're still bringing those childish feelings with you as an adult. I was just looking at a video. I think it was down in San Diego. Okay. Was it No, it was like a soccer game, right? All these fans are beating the heck out of each other over a dang soccer/football game. And I'm like, what in the world have we come to when you care so much that you know what I'm saying? And I get it. Some people are diehards, but it's like we have to grow up and not allow this childish stuff to happen.
This, I think, number 5 relates to the soccer story and all these things. Is we yell because this is so deep. We've convinced ourselves that it's good and normal and needed. So many parents say to me in my clients and my videos, membership, it's the only thing that works. Or that's the only thing my kids listen to. That's not true, and it's sad because you've convinced yourself that one parenting tool is the only tool that works, but there's 1,000 other tools. They just need to go get them.
Yeah, I told this example a couple weeks ago. I think my brother had a huge party, and my mom, for her discipline to them, just didn't talk to him for 2 weeks. So instead of yelling, she tried the opposite. So maybe at home, you're a yeller. Yeah. You literally just stop the yelling. Your kids are going to freak out. They're not going to know what's going on. What's wrong with Dad? How come he's not spanking me? He's not throwing things, and he's not yelling at me. Like, is he okay? I'm so used to getting in trouble, and I'm not. And then the kids are on edge.
Good. That's good. Yeah, here's another thing you can say this to yourself before you yell. You yell because you feel unheard. We raise our voices because we don't feel heard, like no one's listening to us. We also raise our voices when we feel disappointed, when we feel scared that they're going to be late to school, they're going to be late to church, scared that they're going to not stop bothering us, they're not hearing us the first time. So we feel these things, and we react with controlling and then yelling. It makes sense. It's not doesn't work long term.
It makes total sense.
It doesn't teach good things.
But it makes sense.
Number 7 reason.
Hurts your voice too. Guys, we got to think about our vocal cords, okay? Come on.
Number 7 reason relates, I don't think it's repeating itself, is we yell because it works. Like everybody here wants parenting me easy. And like, hey, this tool works. I feel guilty afterwards, but at least it works. And I don't care if my kids hate me, and they're alive and whatever. Number 8 reason is pretty deep. We yell because our culture, our imprint, or our trauma, essentially things from our prequel, has now passed from one generation to the next. It's like it's passed down, and it just seems normal to us because we were raised in that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I'd be interested too to dissect that further. I mean, we're on time right now, but like what different cultures around the world look at yelling like are there some cultures that literally don't yell at all? You know what I'm saying? Like that's just interesting too. Or like even how about the cultures in the deaf community? You can't yell. Maybe you can't speak. Wow, yeah. So that's different too. You have to make a noise to like get attention, which is kind of like a form of yelling, but we don't have time for that. But
what about Italians? To dissect that. Italians and Persians. Italians and Persians. Yeah. Loud cultures. Loud. It's like you get somebody like in the Italian family, like, why are you guys being so mean to each other? Why are you talking to each other? What are you talking about? This is what we do here. Right?
Right. This is normal.
All right. Yeah. And last one is, I think number 9 is true. I just kind of made number 9 on myself. Why do we yell? Well, because it's kind of a part of our personality. Like some people have big, boisterous, personalities like you and I do. It feels fun to feel alive, and we raise our voices and we use drama. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I'm not trying to be weird.
Right.
I'm not trying to scare my children.
It's like the start of boxing match or UFC. It's like, let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if it's like, let's get ready to rumble, everybody.
Right.
Okay, let's go. You know, it's,
Right.
it's be so different.
It's interesting.
So.
Yellers, people like me and you, we like in parenting stuff, we demonize yellers, even though like yelling's bad. Don't yell. Here's strategies to not yell. But like, how about people whose personality is more quiet and like reserved? Is there any like, how many podcasts and books have been written like, the dangers of being a soft-spoken person, like the dangers of not raising your voice. That's not cool either. Sometimes you got to raise your voice. Right?
Totally.
Yeah.
There's always a reason for it. We're just trying to create a balancing act because we know that this topic, yelling, is very heavily on one side, and it's a negative side. So there's positives to it too, but let's get it back even. And all
right, so
I'm excited to hear
here's what we got now.
What these tips are.
I'm jumping in. Now's the time for us to give you, we got 10 great strategies. So I hope you feel, from the reasons why we yell, I hope you feel good. Hope you feel you're not alone. Hope you can see the path ahead of you. This is where you need to go. This is the type of mindfulness you need. Understanding yourself. Why do I yell? What do I need to work on? How do I need to grow, churn, and change? Your children are your greatest invitation. So accept that invitation to be the best version of yourself, to stop your yelling pattern, to see more improvement. And we're going to give you 10 action steps on how to do that. Jordan, what is action step and tool strategy number 1?
All right, I want everybody to think back about like Looney Tunes, right? Commercials back in the day where you'd watch and you'd have the character, something happen. Even like Tom and Jerry, right? You got the mouse running around and he comes and he slaps Tom in the face and Tom wakes up and he gets really mad. And what does he do? He blows steam out of his ears, right? He gets mad and that's like and his face turns red, right? And you're like, oh, this dude's about to crack and maybe go and try to collect Jerry for a snack. So what we're trying to say here is we all get that feeling before we yell, don't we? The kids are acting crazy. We're bubbling up inside. We need their attention. We're about to go off. So what we're trying to do here is that steam we're talking about, that steam we want you to name. Name your steam before it blows. And so what we're trying to ultimately say is teach parents and all of us that we need to recognize rising emotions in ourselves. We have to recognize that early before our lid pops. You can acknowledge physical signs, all right, like I just showed you from the cartoon, but for us, it's like tight chest, clenched jaw, maybe your head starts shaking a little bit. You literally could turn red, right? Your face could turn red. And then you just have to tell yourself, I'm getting heated. I need to pause. And that second might be everything to just not let you blow that lid off. What kind of names are we talking here? Do you have a name for your Sean? I call it the Shonathan. Or what do you actually have?
I don't, but
your steam?
Some people do actually. That's a really good thing. Some people have like a Jekyll or a Hyde.
Jerry comes out.
Do you have one?
Don't want
I don't
Jerry
have one. No,
out.
I don't.
No, I don't.
I just say I say I'm being weird or I'm being grumpy. That really actually helps. Like if I'm actually know I'm in a bad mood, if I'm getting pissed off, I'll say, all right, I'm just so grumpy right now. Because it's like a soft word, grumpy, Yeah. It helps people see like.
What about like, the astrology signs, they say people who are Gemini.
Okay.
Oh, they have an evil twin.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's the evil twin.
Oh,
that's
interesting.
Right now,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's good.
And
it's
so
all like a
people
form
can
of like.
name it as that.
This is an example of like what Jordan's talking about. Naming your steam, like talking to yourself, mindfulness. Hey, before I do number 2, hold on. I got to take a quick time out. Okay, hold on a second. I'm still here. Hold on. That's good. That was a bit. Okay, hold on. Hey, okay, I'm actually kind of getting upset. Before number 2, I have to take a time out. Okay. See what I did? Did you see what I did right there?
Okay. Yeah. Now you're doing it to allow us to do it with you, but would you actually verbalize this? Like if I'm getting mad at my kids, do I be like, all right, guys, I need y'all to calm down. I need to take time out, but I need you to calm down. Then you walk away.
I just did it. Yeah. Jordan.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you do what I just did? Do it right now. Do it. Put me on. Take a timeout. Don't put me on a timeout. Take a timeout. Go.
Okay. All right. Guys, like literally just happened yesterday. Playing tennis. Kids are going crazy. Like these kids are driving me nuts, and I'm about to yell, but I'm just like, hey guys, I need to take a timeout. I need to take time out. Meanwhile, kids are screaming in the background, but I almost need to tell the kids, hey kids, I know you're having fun, but I need a timeout.
How many words is that? I need a timeout. Is timeout? That's 4 words. Everybody, can you say those 4 words? You can.
I need a timeout.
I need a timeout. You can do this. Action step number 1 is about becoming skilled at the timeout. Remember what I said earlier. If you have a yelling or controlling problem, it probably says a lot about your childhood and the lack of parenting you got. So don't do that to your kids. Don't do that to your kids. Give them something that no one ever gave to you. Give them the gift of the timeout and do it by modeling it. I need a timeout.
Yeah, that's good.
Number 2
okay.
is it shouldn't become as a big surprise. Breathing doesn't work for most people, but it actually does for some people. And there's actually scientific research.
Wait, really? It doesn't work for most people?
No.
I didn't realize
No,
this. I thought the power of breathing impacted everybody. Increasing
I'm glad
oxygen, blood flow.
I'm glad you challenged me on that. What you're saying is true, and I'm actually wrong. You won the debate. It's been scientifically proven that the human body responds to 4 square box breathing. It's a fact.
4 square.
It's a fact.
I've never heard of this.
It's a fact. Just like
breathing.
the body responds well to steak and sunshine and water.
Yeah.
It's a fact. It's been medically proven. And so when I say it doesn't respond well, it's like that tool is just not for everybody. It's like like I have a lot of people in my membership, like I try to help my kid with their anger, but they don't want to do the breathing. I was like, okay, that's okay. There's 100 other things your kid can do. Like, oh,
Right,
really? I thought they had to breathe.
Yeah.
No, they don't need to breathe. Like a lot of kids think breathing's stupid. So.
Well, that's a skill too.
It's a skill.
Like breathe. It's not just like, oh, let me take a deep breath. It's like, no, there are breathing exercises. There are literal things that you have to like learn. You can't just take a deep breath. You know, sometimes taking a deep breath does work.
Let's do it right
But I
now.
get
Let's
what
do it
you're
right
saying.
now. Everyone do this, and then Jordan, tell me how you feel. Okay, inhale. We're gonna do inhale for 4. We're gonna hold for 4. We're exhale for 4. Hold for 4. Inhale for 4, like this, through your nose. Hold for 4. Exhale for 4. Hold for 4.
I feel nice.
Hold for 4. One more time. Inhale 4. Hold for 4. Exhale 4. Hold for 4. Okay, that was only 2. It said research said she should do it at least 3. Broski with
That really helped though.
Dude.
But notice your cadence. Who knew? I didn't know the 4-4-4-4 method. I thought it was just take a deep breath, hold it for a second, and lay it out. No, what you did, that's what you mean by 4 square.
4 square box.
4 square
I'm
box.
feeling
I
it
never
in
heard
my
that before.
knees right
That's
now.
awesome.
Where are you feeling it? I feel it. We only did it 2 times.
In my head. I feel it in my head. And in my shoulders. Like it relaxed me. Like if I'm tense, you know, it dropped my shoulders.
Me in the knees, you in different parts. I feel a lot better. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
yeah.
So this
does
activates the parasympathetic nervous system and rewires the impulse to yell. That's some fancy science stuff.
Wow. Yeah, and you're right, though. If some kids don't want to go through that process, let's say they're the ones yelling and you're trying to teach them, you're right. There are other methods. But for us as adults, we could do this 3 times, right? 16, 32.
I don't tuck.
Yeah, it's not even a minute.
I don't tuck my 8-year-old in
You do it
every
3
night
times.
anymore. She wants me to. But I would big tucker. Big tucker in.
Hold on a second. This is a big deal. You don't tuck in your daughter? How dare you?
No, she wants to be tucked in every night, but we just don't anymore.
I know, mighty kids do too.
So we don't,
Yeah,
third
my kids
kid,
do too.
we're just kind of dialing it in.
You're on your own. Okay, we've done this.
We've
All
done
right, you're on
You're
your
putting
own.
yourself to bed tonight. Mom and Dad both work.
Right,
But
that's
when,
right.
When I do it, I am
So
proud
funny.
of myself. I've taught all 3 of my kids how to breathe, and all 3 of them resisted it for years, and I didn't care. I just kept teaching it, and I would model it. I would breathe. I would put my chest on their chest, or I would, my chest on their back, or I would put their hand on my chest so they can feel me doing it. And just trying to model that with your kids. And if you do have a...
Dude, imagine if I did this before test taking. That would help me out so much, like in school. I didn't get taught any of this stuff.
No.
This is
I
good. I'm
should
glad you're
teach
teaching
this
your
here.
daughters
I wish I'm
this.
gonna start a school one day. I'm just teach all this good stuff instead of stupid stuff. All right, number 3, action step.
All right, number 3. All right, so what we want to do is we want to replace this control we feel like we need, right? When we're yelling, we want to, there's chaos, and our little world needs correcting. So I'm gonna yell.
Yeah.
But the correction doesn't have to come with the yelling, right? If I'm trying to correct chaos and I'm trying to control it by yelling, that's not maybe the best thing to do. Maybe I need to help control the chaos by having more connection.
Good.
So let's think about behavior now. We can ask, what's the need behind this behavior? All right, so let's do it for ourselves. All right?
Let's do it.
Kids won't brush their teeth for Sean Don. It's bedtime. They're running around. They're not brushing their teeth. I'm starting to get aggravated. Bedtime routines can get us going. And we don't need that right before we're about to hit the pillow. We need a calm, nice REM cycle. And to do that, no screens. We need to calm down before sunset. So maybe we need to ask myself, like, why am I bubbling up? What am I trying to control here? Why do I care so much that they brush their teeth at this time? And then you can go through that process. Or maybe ask the opposite. They're running around, not brushing their teeth, excited to play tickle games right before bed. What is in it for them? What is controlling them? Why are they acting the way they're acting? Right?
That's good.
And so this might help us understand the whole behavior more, but more importantly for ourselves too. But like for my kids, I always say like, okay, how much sugar have they had? How much sleep have they had? Did they just have a sleepover and they tried to pull an all-nighter and they stay up till 3 a.m.? No wonder they have an attitude with me today.
Totally.
So sometimes we have to think beyond what's happening right now.
So good. Just that slowing down, pausing. Why is my kid acting this way? And thinking deeper about it. Hungry, angry, lonely, tired. Are they just really missing their friends? They want connection. Are they just, they're complaining about the food because they want more food. They don't have their favorite foods. They're complaining about screen time because, they're not good at asking nicely for their needs. They're just young. That not taking things personally, that's really well said. Number 4, strategies to stop yelling and controlling, because I think they're kind of married to each other. They're connected. They're cousins at best, at least. Number 4, this. Instead of saying, you better listen to me, you'll be in trouble if you don't. Listen, come here. Flip the script. And say this. This is such a hack. I teach all my clients lots of tools in the membership about this. Say something like this. Hey, I'm not here to control you. I'm here to coach you. Or something like this. Hey, I'm not here to yell at you. I don't want to yell at you. I'm just trying to help. Or this. Hey, I can't make you do this. So you need to make a good choice right now. No one can make you do anything. So I need to trust you that you're making a good choice. Might be a little wordy for younger kids, but here's another good thing. If you got somebody who hates feeling controlled, a teenager, you say, hey, I don't want you to feel controlled. I know you hate feeling that. So, but I have to, talk to you about this, or I need you to work on this. So you're just like speaking that into them. That reframing help them to shift. What's the shift? It's a shift in their mind from like this fear-based authority to a trust-based leadership. Like, and our kids respond better to that emotional connection and coaching versus commands.
I like that. And then when you do that, maybe this will be bringing in number 5. You can use it like a one clear low tone sentence, right? Like if I were to hear Sean talk to me and like look me in the eye and say something firm, I'm much more ready to listen to it and accept it as like, oh man, he's serious, rather than you just yelling at me from across and you just always yell. If you always yell, I'm not going to take you seriously. Totally. But it's like you come to me and you look me in the eye and you sit down with me and it's like,
well said.
It's like, okay, I'm ready to listen, right? And so maybe pause before you yell, all right? Get that sentence, whatever you want to establish in your mind, ready. Yeah. And you go to your kid and say, hey, look at me. Look at me.
Yes.
Calm and straight. It's time to put that away.
Yes.
Now. Right? Didn't yell, but I was firm and I was steady. Hopefully that'll work. Dude, we used the trust word last night. We had a sleepover.
Fun.
I had to wake up early for work, and my wife, she's like, okay, I need to trust that you guys are going to go to bed by a certain time. I get back from work today. I'm like, how'd everyone do? My son's like, oh, man, we didn't go to bed till this time. And Danny's like, I thought I asked if I could trust you that you'd go to bed at this time, and you didn't listen to me. And then my other daughter, right? We try to teach them like, hey, no candy before this time.
Yeah.
Can't do the candy.
Yeah.
But last night she was sneaking candy, and what happened? She lost her tooth. Her tooth was loose. She bit some candy, and she's like, "See, Dad, if I wouldn't have had this candy, I wouldn't have lost my tooth."
Oh my God! Oh, that's
So
funny.
I'm just like, dude. Now I'm like, well, there is a right time, I guess, to eat that jawbreaker and it crack that tooth that's been loose for 2 months. It seems like.
Oh, it's funny. Yeah, and that's a cool story because
so it doesn't always work, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
it doesn't always work.
Kids are 10, and they were talking about a deep psychological thing called trust, and there's failures and there's successes and there's a time, but that story is actually a good example that leads us to point number 6. And of all the points I have, I think number 6 is the most little confusing and the most understood. So point number 6, Jordan, is called give choices, not orders. So here's like an example. Okay. Instead of saying do this now, you could say, like, let's say with a younger kid situation, hey, would you like to start with your shoes or your backpack? Right? So you want to take your vitamins first or brush your teeth first? But also, this is the part I want to try to make it more clear. Okay, guys, so let's do the sleepover. So can you pretend to be one of your 10-year-olds because you got twins? Hey, can I trust you guys to no candy past this time and go to bed on time? I'm trusting you.
Yes, of course.
Okay,
of
cool.
course, yes.
Okay, cool. So you got 2 choices here. Either A, you choose to keep our trust and remember this, or B, you break our trust tonight and we won't be having sleepovers for quite a while. So which one do you want to choose?
I wish I would have thought about that.
Which one do you choose?
Now I came after the fact. I will trust.
Okay.
You could trust me. I'll go to bed this time. But now I'm like, shoot, now we have to like no more sleepover. But yeah,
how about this one? So we got to make a choice. Okay, so A, pretend to be a different situation, different kid. All right, so we got 2 choices for tomorrow. Okay, we got to get to school on time, and then we get your baseball game after. So you get 2 choices. A, you get to school on time, no arguments, and then we get to go to the baseball game after. Or B, you're late for school, or we have arguments, and then we're not going to the baseball game because you haven't earned it, and you're going to let your team down. Which one do you choose?
I mean, all kids are going to choose that first one, especially if they want to go to the baseball game.
Right.
Now, if you have a defiant kid and they don't care about either, and you as a parent are forcing them to play baseball, and you're forcing them to go to school, and they're like,
well, everybody cares about something. So if you got a defiant kid, so see, this is the part that's understanding. Like giving choices, not orders. That sounds lovely. Whatever. That's like in every parenting book ever. Whatever. Give choices. Okay. Would you want to? Do you want to do the dishwasher right now or clean the dog poop? Whatever, right. That's fine. Your kid's melting down about something, but what in the reality, you've got to also turn the dial up. Okay, so here's the deal. I need you to, stop doing this and doing that, and if you can't, then we're gonna have to go home. Or hey, I need to trust you with this phone, so you either can continue to make poor choices with the phone, and if that happens, we're going to take the phone away for at least 30 to 60 days, or you can work with me and keep our trust, and you get the phone. So these are your choices. So see, it takes loving, calm, firm, intense communication, and then following through. Right. I'm not yelling.
Okay.
So the reason why we yell is because they don't know how to follow through with consequences. Right?
Right. And then let's be real. This will lead us to number 7. We're going to have slip-ups as parents. We're going to try not to yell, but we're going to yell. Okay? I've done it a million times. So, in fact, in my most recent yelling situation, I did just this. I repaired after I slipped up. So I slipped up. I got testy, right? Yep. Now it's my turn to step up to the plate and be like, yo, that was my bad, right? How often do we do that? Sometimes we run from that. We're like, no, we don't want to cough up to it. Right. But the reality is we need to step up to the plate and be like, dude, that was our bad. So you can even say something like to your kids, like, hey, I'm sorry I yelled. I was fearful of this. It wasn't your fault.
That's deep.
I'm trying to go through this. I'm learning to lead with a calm mindset.
Yeah.
So I'm sorry. You know, hopefully you forgive me. Do you forgive me? Let's try it again. I'll try not to yell next time.
Yeah, that's good. You got to own it. And you're modeling humility to your kids. I'm going to try to make you laugh by being vulnerable real quick about something. Are you ready? Okay, so
Yeah.
I'm not a big yeller. I almost never yell. But I do something else that's just as bad. And it shouldn't surprise you, Jordan. Of all people, it shouldn't surprise you because you get to see me do it on this show, including this episode. So I don't yell at my kids or my wife, but sometimes I say things that are just way too intense and weird.
Because you're trying to jab them, right? You're trying to jab it. Like, no,
I'm not perfect. Don't you think I feel like one of my personality flaws on this show and in real life is sometimes I just say things that's just too much, too intense. Don't you feel that way?
Well, I enjoy it because I'm on the podcast with you and it's funny most of the time. But I could see how if I was like your son or your brother or a family member and you did that, it would really dive deep and dig in and hurt. And I'd be like, dang, I disappointed Sean, or does he really think that way about me?
Right.
Or, man, why did he say that? You know?
Like, here's an example. Like last week, out of the blue, do as I do, not as I say. I went into my daughter's room at 10 o'clock at night. I haven't seen her for a few hours because she's been in her room. And I knocked on the door, I opened it, and I said this. She's 15. I said, hey, I need you to print out a report of how much time you spent on roadblocks over the last 14 days and bring it to me by tomorrow. And then I walked out. I said that, dude. I said that.
Dude.
It's weird. I say weird. That's
not even like, hey, how are you?
Soft startup.
A little bit.
Hey,
what are you doing?
That's like a freaking middle manager. You know, hey, I need you to print out a page of how much time you spent screen time, how much you spent on roadblocks for the last 2 weeks, and bring it to me ASAP. Who talks that way? It's embarrassing. Dude. So, doesn't that sound like something I would say, dude?
Oh, totally. That's great.
And you know what? I walked into the living room after that,
I can see
and
how
Danielle.
You say it's a flaw, but
yeah, go ahead.
Did she hear it?
Of course, she was so great. She was great. She says something loving and kind, like, "Are you sure you want to talk to Miley that way?" And I was like, "Oh,
yeah."
I was so tired. I was like, "Oh God, that was so dumb." That's what I said. I haven't even apologized to her. She didn't even give me the report, dude. She didn't even give me the report, and I haven't apologized,
dude. Yeah,
it's messy, dude.
Messy. I think it could be a lot worse. Give yourself some grace. A lot of people would love to have you as a dad because they have dads out there that are the exact opposite. They are screaming, they are yelling, they are throwing things, they are maybe harming their kids. So we all have some work to do. Okay. I think you're a great dad, and you're working on it.
Thank you. I'm working on it. I'm trying to. Yeah.
Yeah, we're all working on it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, what are we at now? Number 8? Yeah, man.
Number 8.
Repair after you sleep. That was me. That's
number 8.
You're up next.
Okay. Number 8 is really good. Pre-plan for hotspots. All right, so like the parts in your life that are sticky. So is it the morning routine? Is it the tough car rides? Is it the bedtime routines?
The tech time.
Is it issues around tech, coming to the dinner table on time? Is it when grandma and grandpa come over? So you want to really you want to do preventative parenting around this. You want to talk to them when they're calm, cool, collected. You want to have family meetings. You want to identify your own triggers, before they happen, and whether it be the homework battles or the battles over the food, and you want to do this ahead of time, and you want to team up with your kids to solve these hot spots together so nobody yells. That's good advice.
So what do you mean like that? Like let's say they come to the dinner table late. You just have hey guys, just so you know, you've been at the dinner table late a lot this week. Mm-hmm. I'd like going forward to not be late because I don't want to flare up. And you just keep having that conversation.
What can we do better as a family? You know, how can you improve this? Because I don't want to yell. I know you guys don't like yelling. I don't want to punish you. I don't. But this isn't working for me. You know,
I love the term pre-plan, because how else do you plan if it's not pre?
That's funny.
When you plan, it's obviously ahead of time. Funny. It's always funny. All right, number 9. We only have 2 more, ladies and gentlemen. Hang on. All right, you got to ask, what's this moment teaching me?
Ooh.
Instead of reacting, respond with curiosity. Every power struggle we have is a mirror reflecting a lesson in leadership. patience, and boundaries. And I take this to the next level. Even if it's something like, you know, your daughter having to do a report for you about how much time she spends on Roblox. I always think like, man, I hate having to do this right now, but how is this going to help me later? Because it's funny. There's some of the stuff that I don't like doing. I look ahead and say, how will I be better because of this? And then I look back and I'm like, man, I'm so glad I did that because I learned X, Y, and Z. It's pretty cool.
That is such a great insight. What is this moment teaching me? It's like our children are, I think, either our greatest teachers or after our spouse, our second grader teachers. So it's like, you know, instead of looking at your kid as like, oh, this kid is so annoying. It brings out the worst in me. I hate them. I hate this. Grow up. I can't stand this age anymore. Instead, change the way you think. So this kid is teaching me how to be a more loving person, a wiser person, a patient person, helping me to do the work that I need to do that I didn't do when I was younger. This person is helping me to grow up. And
see, that's a very adult way of looking at it. I was looking at it in the way of like, you know, they say God throws you curveballs and kind of laughs at you along your life journey. And it's like, oh, this is a mini you. I love when people say that. Oh, that's just like Sean when he was a kid. And then Sean's here going nuts. And then it makes me want to like thank my parents. Thank you so much for dealing with me. This is what you had to deal with. This is me dealing with myself now.
I know, so true. We had a pool party the last 2 weekends, and we had this newer family came, and their kids are like 10 and 6, and they were just bouncing all around the pool, Jordan. They were splashing the moms.
Nice.
The moms were saying, please stop.
Oh.
They were bothering the kids.
Right.
The mom is telling the dad, can you parent these boys? And I was just sitting there on my lounge chair, and I was just looking at these boys, and I was like, I was just digging it, man. I was like, this is who I was. And it didn't bother me a bit. It didn't bother me a bit. It bothered almost everybody else. But I was like, these are just alpha boys having a blast, being selfish, being insensitive. And they do need parenting. But yeah, it's like, you know, it's just how you think about your kid's behavior really matters, you know?
That's good.
And
that's really
and
good.
now we're down
That's
for number
awesome.
10. And I think number 10 is probably the most important thing, maybe the hardest. Action steps. How to stop yelling and controlling. Number 10. Create a family culture of emotional safety. What does that mean?
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
All right. So,
like you're saying we feel emotionally unsafe, that's why we yell maybe?
part of it, but also when we yell, it's not safe for our kids. So just be committed.
Oh.
I won't do this. You know, you want to replace that tool of yelling and controlling with heart talks. If you don't know how to have heart talks, join me in my membership and I'll show you how. I'll role play with you. Replace the yelling in the heart with heart talks. You know, help everybody calm down. Help everyone feel heard. Be patient with them as they're acting like the children. They're allowed to act like a child. You don't act like a child. Make your home a classroom for emotional intelligence, not a battlefield. That's probably why not sure the name of my book was going to come out, what the name's going to be, but we might change the title. My editor might. But as of right now, it's called Schools Won't Teach This. A parent's how-to guide to raise wise, emotionally intelligent adults, become the parent your kids need. So set that as a goal, a vision.
Yeah, I love that. You know, maybe it's something as simple as like in the moment, you telling them, hey, I'm not going to yell. And that lets them know like, oh man, he would have yelled. Old dad would have yelled. But new dad's not yelling, even though he wants to.
The most emotional, you made me think of like the most emotional Instagram video I've seen recently was this Samoan looking guy. Big guy, maybe Hawaiian.
Yeah.
And the text on the screen, it said something like, when you raise your kids in a nonviolent home. That's all it said. And then what he did is he went up to his like 5 kids and he put them on camera, and they look Samoan too, and he raised his fist like he was going to punch them.
Yeah.
And you see the first kid, teenage boy, big boy, he didn't flinch one time. He smiled. He giggled. He goes to his next kid. He flinches. He raises his fist like he's going to smack her.
Raises
She's
fist.
like staring at him like, what are you doing? Third kid, fourth kid. It was like, it told a story.
That's really
about
cool.
his childhood. I think it tells a story like, it didn't say it in the caption, but I think he's just telling us this beautiful story of like, look, this is how I was raised and I've broken the cycle. And these children right here, this is evidence. I'm getting shivers thinking about it.
Right. Me too, because I can, like, what is the universal signal of, like, you're going to get a whooping? You see the hand come up next to your face and the eyeballs coming up to you, like, I'm about to smack you, and that's that flinch you're talking about. Like, oh, I don't want that.
Parents, we must stop controlling and we must stop yelling, and here are the 10 strategies that will work for you. Replace those old tools and pick and do one of these 10. Number 1, name your steam before it blows. Become mindful. Talk to yourself. Take time outs. Become a great self-talker. Number 2, use the 4 square box breathing. It has been scientifically proven to calm human beings down. Number 3, replace control with connection. Number 4, stay, instead of you need to listen to me, use good language like, hey, I'm not here to control you. I'm here to coach you. Number 5, be a cool cat. Use one clear, low-tone sentence. Nice and calm. Don't repeat yourself. You say it one time. Number 6, give your kids choices and not orders. Say, hey, you know, you don't want to do this, but you need to choose between this or this. Kids like feeling like they have a sense of power. Number 7, if you mess up, you slip, we're all going to repair that slip up. Be humble. Be apologetic. Number 8, pre-plan. Pre-plan for the hot spots, whether it be the morning routine, the bedtime routine, the arguments. Talk about it as a family, at family meetings. How can we grow and solve these things together? Number 9, your kids are acting out. Instead of blowing your top, controlling, taking control, look at them differently and say, what am I learning here? How can I learn? Is this an opportunity for me to grow in patience, kindness, grace, just understanding? And number 10 is tough. It's a big one, is create a family culture of emotional safety and emotional intelligence. You're the leader, so lead well.
This is great. Every one of us could use even one of those tips, and it's going to go a long way. Tackle all 10, you could become an expert.
Yeah, this is so cool. Like, we're all like on this journey to just be the best versions of ourselves, and we can do it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's hard, but yes, especially when we surround ourselves with great people and wise people and listen to, podcasts like this.
If you do enjoy this podcast, please go on Spotify or Apple and leave us a positive review. Share this episode with a friend or someone who loves you or you love. And thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Stay strong, be close, and teach wisdom.